Hey, good evening, folks, and welcome to another edition of An Hour with Bob. I hope you're a sports fan because today we're going to be talking about sports. The New England Patriots already in another Super Bowl run. In fact, in 2 weeks, they will be playing in the 52nd annual Super Bowl. And against Philly, I'm kind of glad it's against Philly because Minnesota would have been a home team. And that kind of, I think it makes a big difference having a home team. And with me tonight, just to kind of clarify that, I got Mark Dondaro from Channel 12.
Thanks for having me, Bob. Good to
How you
be here.
doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. And I got a legend of sports, my good friend for
Right.
decades, Joe Rocco, who was formerly with Channel 10 for, what?
37 years.
37 years.
Yes.
Is that long?
That's right, yes.
How you doing, Joe?
Felt that long.
Did it? Did it? Oh, guys, what'd you think? What'd you think of the game, first of all? Did you think they were going to win it?
Well, like I said to you, Bob, when I got here, I'd like to be able to say it was the greatest game I've ever seen, but based on some of the other Super Bowls we've seen, it was, I don't know, third or fifth or something down the list. But it was a great game. I thought for a while they were not going to win,
Right.
Especially after that Dion Lewis fumble when Jacksonville got the ball back. It was the
Yes.
fourth quarter down 10. They weren't really doing much. But, yeah, they do what they do, and they just came back and another Super Bowl, incredible.
And that catch by Danny Amendola in the end zone when he got his feet down, that was the amazing. I thought that second foot wasn't going to make it because it was way up in the air. And you tell me this, Joe Rocco, if he would have been knocked out of bounds before he got that second foot down, does it count?
That's a very good question. I don't think so.
No?
No,
No, you got to get that second foot
I
down.
don't think.
Gotta
I
get
think
that
that. I
That's
think
why it was such a great catch. And
You
this
sure?
isn't a 6'4" receiver. Danny Amendola is about
He's
what was he, 5'10", maybe 5'11", if that. So that's a heck of a catch.
I don't think he has to get his both feet down in the end zone. I don't
Well-
think
Well,
so.
did he get a body part down? That's something. Like if he gets like
No.
Okay.
I think if you get pushed out in the end zone, I'm
what
probably
that was
wrong.
like.
You guys are sports guys.
I forget. They might have changed that rule.
Well, what's amazing is, how he stepped up. They no Gronkowski.
Right.
Someone had to step up.
Right.
And he did.
They
And
lost
then,
Edelman.
Long gone. And then TB12 with the stitches, the hand. I mean, it's just another chapter. We just keep writing these chapters. And who knows when it's going to end. You couldn't help, even if you're super optimistic. I don't know about you guys, but watching that game, you're thinking, well, maybe this is the one where they don't get it done.
It's all over, yeah.
Where they get the bad call, the bad bounce.
Yep.
It's going to happen one of these days, folks. It's going to happen.
Yep. What goes
Hopefully
up
not February 4th.
what comes down, yes.
That's
Yeah.
right. But it keeps happening, and now what Brady is doing and this franchise is doing is just adding layers. They've separated themselves, greatest of all time.
Right.
Belichick has done that now, away from even Lombardi and Chuck Noll and Shula. Brady certainly has done that now, from Peyton Manning and Joe Montana. So now this is all icing on the cake. I mean, we're just adding layers here. And don't be surprised if we add another chapter and another layer to separate himself even a little further on February 4th.
And so you're predicting? You're making a prediction here?
How can you pick? How can you
not
pick
pick the
against these
Patriots?
guys? I mean, really. I mean, if they announce that every starter except Brady is unable to play, I still wouldn't pick against them, right?
No, I know.
Do you want me to seriously pick Nick Foles, no
Yeah.
offense, over Tom Brady? Hey, look, the Eagles are a really good team. I think it'll be a good game. But there's no chance, no way, that I can pick Nick Foles over Tom Brady. I can't do that.
No, I'm joking, of course.
And the coach,
yeah,
Peterson.
Done a great
Belichick.
job.
Yeah,
But it's just you can't do it.
Yeah, and when you watch those NFL films, the Do Your Job, they did one after the Seattle Super Bowl win. They did Do Your Job 2 last year after the win last year.
Right.
And you see that behind the scenes material in the meeting rooms and how they prepare. And Ernie Adams, who's picking up little things on the field before the game that no one's picking up. One receiver on the other team who has a limp on the right side. I mean, there's just nothing to detail.
No stone unturned.
No stone unturned. And then the preparation, the experience. I mean, this is just like another road trip for these guys, for this coaching staff and this team. I mean, you realize Brady, this is his 8th Super Bowl. But by the end of the night on February 4th, the guy's going to have played a half a season in Super Bowls. got a half a season. Years from now, they're going to say, well, how many years did he play? Well, he played 19 or 20 years, and he played a half a season, plus a half a season in Super Bowls.
Super Bowl.
And then add the AFC Championship games, there's more than another half a season. So he played, 20 seasons and then another season and a half in championship games and Super Bowls. I mean, it just boggles the mind. I mean, it's unbelievable.
You know what else boggles the mind is how Belichick can keep all those players in line. Even when you try to interview them, they all have the same thing. It's like they got a script in front of them and they know exactly what to say.
Yeah,
nobody goes off
or
script.
not to say.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Nobody goes off script. How do you deal with
Yeah,
that?
I don't know how long they prepare for certain topics or certain days they meet with the media, but they certainly have it down. They don't want any distractions. They know what they're supposed to say, what they're not supposed to say. Bill leads the charge with that.
But
and
nobody deters from it. Nobody does.
And you know what's incredible? I'm just trying to think, and I don't know if you guys can remember one instance, but Belichick's been here now for 18 years.
18 years, yeah.
Has there been one incident where one of his players misspoke or said?
Yes.
When was that?
Yes. I'm trying to think of when it was.
Well, I
Was
can
it
think of
Randy
one.
Moss?
There was the Wes Welker foot jokes situation where he did get benched for the first series of the game with the Jets.
No,
that
but
time.
there
All right,
was.
so there's one.
No, there was.
Has there been two?
There was two. There was two. There was another guy.
Have there been 5 in 18 years?
No.
Yeah, I'm sure. Look,
It's unbelievable.
He can do that because they win.
Right.
If they don't win, I don't think he's able to talk
Control
to the
them,
media.
yeah.
Talk to the media the way he does at the press conferences
Right.
because they will crush him if he doesn't win. The only reason that lasts is because he wins.
As you may know, and I think we've talked about this, there is a whole other side to Bill Belichick.
Yes.
And Lenny Clark, the comedian, who's a friend of mine, and Clark
Joe's had them all on when he did the Newport comedy series for how many years?
15 years. Clark is really close with Belichick. Belichick's had Lenny come and talk to the team several times. In fact, before there's a couple of Super Bowls to loosen him up the night before the game, little comedy. But Lenny told me not too long ago, Bill Belichick is the funniest guy I've ever had.
Can you
dinner with.
imagine? Would you believe
and
that?
I'd love to know what kind of humor he works with.
And this is a guy, and Lenny's a guy, obviously, who spent some time with some very, very who's who of comedians, for
Right,
starters.
sure.
Bill Belichick's the funniest guy I ever did.
He must have awful dry humor.
I think Lenny had a few drinks that night too. No, really, there's a whole other side to Belichick, and he's just toying with the media. Unfortunately, sometimes, and I think it's a disservice to the fans. I mean,
That he doesn't say
because when
anything.
I used to cover the team, the same thing. I mean, it's like if you don't want to talk to me or the writers or it's just you're just depriving the fans who pay your salaries.
How
really.
come
Well,
the
just
the
answer-
NFL doesn't make him talk?
Well, you can't make them say
They make him go to the podium.
That's right.
That's
They
as
do
far
make
as it
him.
They
goes.
do make him go to the podium,
yeah,
right?
absolutely.
That's
Win
as
or
far as it
lose,
goes.
right?
They can't make him say the words that they want.
No, of course
Same
not.
thing like Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
Like, remember what a jerk he was at the
Right.
Super Bowl a few years ago? They
Right.
can't make him say things.
Oh, speaking of Marshawn, let's just go up to Patriots for a second. He left and came back, right?
He played for the Raiders, right?
Yeah.
Did he play for the Raiders?
He's
Yeah,
still
he-
on the Raiders.
Yeah,
I
had a
think.
pretty good
He's
season.
ended with this-
Well, he's a great running back.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest blunder in sports, I think, was when Carroll decided to pass the ball instead of handing off to a guy you couldn't stop. The Patriots couldn't stop.
Yeah, that was a brilliant call, wasn't it?
Well, we were watching. That was unbelievable.
That was beautiful.
That was unbelievable. That should never had happened.
And that's the other thing that's amazing, how these other teams just melt.
Well, they try to outsmart
And you
them.
saw Jacksonville do a little bit of that, not horribly,
Right.
but they made their share of mistakes. That delay of game penalty,
Right.
end of the
That
second
cost
quarter,
them
they're
big
up
time.
14-10. They get a first down. Maybe they go in and they score 3 or 7 more.
Right.
So maybe it's 21-3. I think they're up. Yeah, 14-3. I'm
Right,
sorry.
yeah.
14-3, so they can go up 21-3 if they keep the drive going. They get a first down around the 30, and all of a sudden, because of 1 second, and by the way, Jackson was coming out of a timeout. They had plenty of time.
Exactly. That made no sense at all.
I mean, it's I swear, some of the things these other teams do. Belichick's got a guy on Bourbon Street in New Orleans with a pincushion during these games. I swear, and he's got the pincushion working. These people just collapse. They melt. They just do stupid things, and then the Jacksonville Marone. I mean, they played not to lose. They played way too conservative.
Right, yeah, the second half.
They didn't
changed
want
their game
Bortles to
plan.
make. But when are they going to find out how haven't they seen this movie before?
Right.
Don't they know
They all
how
do
it ends?
They all do it.
Well, here's the problem.
Atlanta did it last year.
Hold on a sec. That's the problem.
Atlanta,
though, they didn't play not to lose. They were too aggressive. Remember at the end of the game when they should have just run it and kicked the field goal? What
Right,
happened?
right.
They continued to throw it.
Yeah.
They got sacked. There was a holding penalty, and they were out of field goal range.
Right.
So it doesn't matter. You want to play to beat the Patriots, obviously, like you just said, Joe, but you also need to play the smart way. So there's a balance there, and these teams, for whatever reason, Belichick, they just can't find the balance, and they find a way to lose.
Well,
the Falcons playing too aggressive, the Jaguars playing too conservative.
And how about the importance of a coach? And as you said, Belichick's up here, everybody else is down here. The Pittsburgh coach, how did they blow that game?
well, he does. He doesn't have control of his players clearly. With guys coming out saying what they're saying, and they have great talent on the Steelers. But I was amazed. I don't know about you guys, but I was surprised over the last month. A lot of people, not just talk show callers, but people in the media, saying, this is the year Pittsburgh comes here and beats them. I don't think they can get by Pittsburgh. This is the year the Steelers come. Based on what? I mean,
Right.
based on what? They couldn't beat the Patriots in Pittsburgh. They'd lost 9 of the previous 11. The coach is a little bit of a nitwit, right? Based on what? And then the other thing is that, I didn't think they could get back past Jacksonville because of the Jacksonville defense. I didn't think that Jacksonville was going to beat them 45-42. But anyway, everybody's excited about Pittsburgh. I was with a diehard Pittsburgh fan Saturday in New York. This guy's been going since he was a kid. He's been to Super Bowls, and this guy's still sick about it. It was a breakfast thing.
Yeah.
Guy couldn't finish his breakfast. He was talking. The poor Pittsburgh people. I mean, that's all they have to live for there. And
Well, I think it's just easy to get infatuated with the talent, like you said, on the roster. But, yeah, Mike Tomlin's more of just, get them fired up and then let the talent win the day. And that's just not enough to beat a team like the Patriots. That's why they've lost almost every game. Even when they should have beaten the Patriots, they can't.
And they struggle. Cincinnati scored a lot of points against them in December. Baltimore scored a lot of points against them in December. Final week of the season, and I know they rested a bunch of guys, but the Browns almost beat them. I mean, and that's the other thing. They played soft. How many times do we see these teams now when you rest your guys, you play soft the final week because you've already clinched and everything?
Right.
It seems like, and someone will have that stat, 3 out of 4 times that comes back to bite
Back
you
to
in
haunt
the
you.
butt.
Yeah. You're playing too soft.
Yeah.
Tom Coughlin, he's proved it more than a few times. Look
Right.
at the season against us in the when they were undefeated. That final week of the season, that game didn't mean anything to them. They played really super hard, almost beat. We were at Shula's that night. Remember when they're undefeated to wrap up the undefeated season? We had a bunch of people watching that game. It was very exciting. Giants were way ahead. They played super hard to beat the Patriots like it was the Super Bowl, not knowing 5 weeks later they were going to play the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
And beat them.
And then they beat them, and I think that had a little bit to do it. By the way, Coughlin, how scary is he? I bet you Belichick and those guys don't want to see any more Coughlin teams
Exactly.
anywhere.
We were talking
They
about
always
that
play
before
them
the
well,
game,
yeah.
Right?
There's the guy that could beat the Patriots. He's probably the only guy that has a winning record against the Patriots, right?
It's never easy against them. He knows how to prepare the team. I thought that was stupid when the Giants let him go. I know they hadn't been making the playoffs, but what a mess they've turned into.
Well, you think it's because of the quarterback? The quarterback, they even benched him at one point, didn't they?
Yeah, that's part of it, of course. But the coach lost control. I don't even remember his name. I'm blanking on the coach's name right now. He was fired. But they lost control. The quarterback, obviously, Eli couldn't. He couldn't last this season. I'm embarrassed to tell you this. They were my Super Bowl pick. I'm
Really?
thinking they get Brandon Marshall. They got Odell Beckham. They loaded up on defense. This is a team that's going to be good this year. And they just, that's the thing, though, about the NFL and what you don't see with the Patriots. You hear them talk about it all the time. Mental toughness. Some of these other teams don't have it. And when it starts to go bad, it just goes downhill really quickly.
Right.
And that's what happened to the Giants this year. We'll see if they can get it back. It's nice that they have the number 2 overall pick. And they just hired Pat Shurmur. But I don't know.
What happened to Kansas City this year?
Good question.
They started off strong.
And did you notice in the playoff game that they lost to Tennessee? Tennessee, right? Or
Yeah.
Tennessee, yes.
Tennessee, yeah.
a few weeks ago. When they lost their tight end, Lacey, second
was
half
all
was
over.
a different story.
Yeah.
Versus the Patriots lose their tight end,
And somebody else
one
filled
of the greatest ever to play the game,
Yeah.
and no problem. In fact, offense was better in the second half,
Well,
right?
well, how about when they won, last time they won the Super Bowl, they played without him, didn't they?
Yeah.
Won it last year without him.
Yeah.
So, and on that note, that's what you're going to hear a lot about the next few weeks. I guess he's in what they call that concussion protocol. They normally say 7 to 10 days. Rest assured, the doctors who will examine him will get their package of Super Bowl tickets and hotel reservations any day now. It'll come from
Are you
one in
being a
Foxborough.
skeptic? Are you being a skeptic?
I can say this stuff now. I'm not in the media. What are they going to do? Fire me? Ban me from the locker room?
Yeah, see, Mark, you can't say that.
No, he's got to be more careful.
I'd be shocked if he doesn't find a way to play in this
Oh, he'll
game. It
play.
was a significant concussion, I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
He plays.
Now, somebody made a good point about that concussion. The player that sent him out of the game, right, gets a 15-yard penalty.
Mm-hmm.
The tight end goes into protocol for, he's out of the game and he may be out for the Super Bowl.
Right.
Why don't the guy that hit him and give him a concussion, he'd be thrown out of the game too?
It's not the rule.
But because think about it.
well,
if-
That'd be
if-
really hard because of the way how fast the
It's
NFL
hard to
is.
judge, right.
It's hard to judge.
I think if they deem that he did it on purpose,
what-
and I
yeah,
don't know how
okay,
you
that's
do
what I
that,
mean,
like
yeah.
Mark is saying,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
the guy's out.
But if you thought that it was, remember you can
How
go
do you
back.
know?
Mark's too young to remember this team, and that's a compliment. That the Raiders back in the day when Darryl Stingley went out,
Yeah.
they had some cornerbacks that were headhunters.
Played a little rough, yeah.
They were headhunters.
Jack Tatum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so you do know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. They went at them all teams.
Well, that's not the NFL now. Everybody's getting protected now, and that's fine. But like you said, Joe, it's just hard in that situation. I don't think the guy that hit Gronk the other day is a dirty player. Just happened fast. He got him in the head. It's too bad. Gronk, though, was out of it.
These guys
Yeah,
are
yeah.
flying around. I mean, you see it on television. You see it even more if you're sitting there at the game close by, or if you're on the sideline.
Right, you can hear it.
It's amazing. I mean, my last year I covered the team was way back in '97, and even then the speed of the game was incredible. And they would let us go down to the sideline. I don't know if they still do that now to meet your photographer near the end of the game, but
Yeah.
you go down there for the final few minutes, and so I got to watch my share of games right on the sideline, and so it's all right in front of you. The speed, especially on kickoff returns and punt returns, unbelievable. And now, I mean, that's a long time ago. And now
they're
they're
much
faster,
bigger even.
stronger.
And
they're
bigger,
moving
yeah.
pretty good then too. It's so you have bodies flying around all over the place, and that stuff's going to happen. But how about the irony? I mean, here's Gronkowski for the first time in a while. Has a nice clean season, plays the whole year. I mean, what are the odds of that? At the beginning of the year, everybody saying, if he gives us 8 games, that'd be great. We'll take
we've
it.
always said that
Plays
about
the whole
him.
thing.
He's
and
always getting hurt.
now you're in the second quarter of a knock him down, drag him out, rock fight against the Jaguars, and he goes out. He gets hit and goes out. And that's why you had to sit there, no matter how optimistic. And I always try to look at the glass half full in the Jacksonville game and say, this might not be the day they get it done.
Right.
And then credit to the Jaguars for a while until they got stupid like everybody else, and started to be conservative. And they ran the ball, about 10 times in the middle of the line of scrimmage. I know they're backed up to their own 15 or 20, but, again, I mean, that's not the formula. That's not the recipe to beat Tom Brady and the Patriots in
Right.
Foxborough. Take a shot. You're going to lose anyway. I want to see a team come in here in my lifetime
Yep.
and just go nuts. Just go nuts. Even if you're up 8, 10, 15, just flea flickers, throw the ball, just throw it all over the place within reason. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just go. But
It'd be a shame if Gronk, I think he'll be back, but if he was ever hindered with some kind of injury for
Right.
this Super Bowl, he'd be on
2
the
in a
Patriots.
row.
Well, I mean, he'll have gone to, 4 Super Bowls? In 3 of them, he would have been dealing with a serious injury or out due to
Right,
injury because
right.
there was the ankle. He was playing on one leg that first one against the Giants in whatever
right.
that was 2012, and then he was out last year. Now if a concussion is holding him back, that's too bad. 4 Super Bowls and you're healthy for 1. We'll see what happens.
But it's amazing how these characters step up. They just fill, like you said, they fill the void.
Oh, I know.
The guy that
It's
Amendola, I was not a big, a
incomprehensible.
big fan of him when he first come up.
how do you feel about him now?
I liked him. pretty-
Olivia's boyfriend.
He looked pretty good.
He's in
the
Rhode
game
Island. He's
last week.
Olivia's boyfriend.
Oh, he's Olivia's boyfriend.
That's what
Yeah, right in
Rhode Island.
Providence, yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
He, I think it was Peter King who said right after the last Super Bowl last year, of the 22 players who started for the Patriots, this goes to your point of guys stepping up and interchangeable parts. Only one guy among those starting 22 that won the Super Bowl last year was drafted in the first 3 rounds. 1 out of
Wow.
22. And it was offensive
Wow.
lineman. I think it might have been Solder. Only 1 guy
Wow.
out of 22.
And how many former Patriots are playing for other teams?
yeah, but
How
if-
about Long's playing for Philadelphia?
yeah, we're going to hear a lot of LeGarrette
And
Blunt,
Blunt.
and Chris Long. Long had a good NFC Championship game. You're going to be seeing a lot about that. I was a little surprised they got rid of Blunt. He had his best season
I
last
liked
year.
him. I liked him. Remember the game he had
Best
against
year last year.
He
Indianapolis?
led the league in touchdowns, I think, last year. I will say, give the Eagles some credit because they've gotten to the Super Bowl without their left tackle, without their quarterback, and I think without their starting middle linebacker. One of their linebackers went out early in the season. So, like the Patriots, they've made some. They've been able to be productive with some of their key guys out.
Right. And he had a career game, the quarterback, right?
Nick Foles the other day was insane.
had a great
Carson
game.
Wentz
Yeah,
could have been better than that.
You got to wonder what happened to that Minnesota defense
Yeah,
that was
that was
so
embarrassing.
good all year and fast to the ball, and they'll never talk about it, but you can't help but think they had such a euphoric, historic win
Right.
over the Saints.
Well, and they were looking past them, I think.
That I don't know that maybe they left some of that emotion
Right.
and intensity.
I
and
was sick
whatever
about
in
that, by the way.
Minnesota.
'Cause I like Drew Brees, and I was sick about that he got beat in that game. That was I mean, how does that happen? How do you let a guy get behind? They actually avoided tackling him.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
Incredible.
The cornerback avoided tackling him.
I don't know what happened there. That was a
He
disaster.
he dove by him.
I think he was trying to keep him in bounds and then just missed them completely. Just disastrous.
It's got to go in the top 5, top 10 blown plays in sports history.
That
in
reminds
big
me
spots,
of the
right?
Red Sox with first baseman Bill Buckner.
Okay, well
That's-
we all know that's in the top 5.
Well, that's what I would put
Yeah.
right with it.
Yeah.
That's what I put right with it because that was blown. They
Yeah,
had the
it's
game
right
with
there.
them 10 seconds left in that game,
Sure.
Mark. 10
Yeah,
seconds.
it was the last play. It was a walk-off.
It was it.
You just can't have it.
And now, how long have you been with Channel 12?
April of 2013 I got there, so I've been there almost 5 years.
I can't believe that. You've already been there
Yeah,
5
it's
years.
crazy.
I'm thinking he's like a kid. Like
Yeah,
he's
30.
He is
still
a
young.
kid.
He is a kid
Compared to us.
yeah.
We're in our 90s now.
I know, yeah.
And,
but I mean, he's still.
it's been great. Been a lot of fun.
Now,
Covered
where have
some-
you been? Where'd you start out?
I was in Georgia for 2 years, about 2 years, and then Mississippi for 2 years, and then got to Providence. So it's been a good progression.
Well, what market in Georgia?
It was northwest Georgia, a town called Dalton. It was a small independent station, no network affiliate. But we covered high school football and did stuff like that, and it was great. I mean, it got me some reps doing anchoring and reporting. We didn't
There you
really
go.
go live, but we had a big high school football show on Friday nights, and that got me to Mississippi, where it was a lot of the same stuff, but a little bit bigger, and then the same kind of thing in Providence, just even bigger.
Good
So
for
it
you.
was a big-
And you're working with some legends. My buddy Tony Petrarca.
Tony Petrarca, who's been on this show.
Mike Montecavo?
Mike
Montecalvo,
Montecalvo. I
legends.
remember Mike Montecalvo when he was on the radio. Do you know that?
I know.
That wasn't that long ago.
How
long now? 8, 9 years?
Oh, it's a little
10
more
years?
than
I think
that.
he's been at Channel 12 like 12 years.
Oh, see,
Maybe
time is
more.
flying by.
Yeah.
Time's flying
But
by.
yeah, he has a big-time radio background, very good on the anchor desk. He's
Right.
a legend.
Excellent.
Good guy. Very
Great.
good.
He's one of the nicest guys I know. Yeah.
How long were you in Georgia before you stepped
It
up?
was like,
Almost 2
was it
years,
about
is
almost 2 years. It was just under 2 years in Georgia, and then I went from there to Mississippi. So it was a lot of
We're in
southern-
Mississippi.
Columbus. So it was about an hour, a little less than an hour actually from Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I covered
I've been
two
there.
Alabama
The Crimson
football,
Tide.
Yeah, 2 national championship
Yes.
games. Because we did a lot with Alabama, but it was really right in Mississippi State's backyard. So a lot of college football. Got to golf.
I
11
love
months of the
college
year.
Can you get Nick Saban to come on the show for Bob?
I don't know Nick. I've asked him a couple questions at the press conference. But
I actually did a show at the museum down there, the Bear Bryant Museum.
Really?
Yeah.
you've done a show everywhere.
I have.
Show-
I've met
You're
you.
unbelievable.
On the field at Notre Dame, he got thrown out, or what?
50,
was
yeah,
it?
well, they didn't throw me out. They were going to
Almost.
throw me out, but I
Almost.
conned them right out of it.
Right.
His name
In a
was
lot of
Thomas. He played for Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And he now is the head groundskeeper at Notre Dame years later. And here I am. I sneak in when driving by it. I'm with this girl I had met in Florida, and she's from Niles, Michigan, which is about 8 miles from the border, 8 miles from Notre Dame. So I said, I got to go to Notre Dame. So we go over there. And I positioned her in the end zone with the camera, and I get at the 50-yard line. I got the wireless mic. I'm going, here we are on Bob's Big Adventure, and guess where we are? And halfway widen out, and in the background you got
Touchdown
Jesus.
Oh, yeah, wow.
And all of a sudden this guy starts screaming, and a guy comes running out towards me, this big guy, right? And he goes, what are you doing here? You can't be in here. I go, wait a minute. You used to play for Notre Dame. I didn't know it. I
Yeah.
just took a shot, right? And as it turned out, he was a running back for Notre Dame.
Did you win him over?
Oh, we were arms around each other. I ended up doing the whole thing there. He gave
There
me
you go.
a tour of the place. He started telling me all about Joe Montana when he was there. Rocket Ismail had graduated from there the year before.
Yeah, I remember him.
The receiver there.
Yeah.
Award-winning program?
Oh, it was a good one. It was a good program.
Good. There you go.
It was a good program.
Leave
And I
it
got
to
a
you.
ticket. I go up to the counter. I got a damn parking ticket. Can you believe they have the audacity to give me a parking ticket? And it was a big ticket. It was a big ticket. It was like $60.
You
So
probably didn't even pay it. You're probably like, if
No,
you go
I did
back
not
to
pay
South
it.
Bend, you're going to get arrested.
Nope.
No, I would stay out of South Bend.
No,
They're
here's
looking
what
for
I
you.
did. Here's what I did. I went back to see my main man, Thomas, and I said,
Yeah.
where's the police station around here? And he directed me to the police station. I walked in. There were 3 people behind the counter. I said, excuse me, who's in charge here? And it happened to be a woman officer. And I said, could I speak with you a minute?
And she said, who are you?
I called her to the side and I said, look, I came here to do a program and to promote South Bend, Indiana.
That's right.
And I said, this is what I get? This is the respect I get? She goes, well, who are you? And I tell her, I do a TV show back in Rhode Island, blah, blah, blah. Bob.
You
I
should
do
have
a
said
show,
Peter
Bob's
Jennings.
Big Adventure.
You should have said Peter Jennings.
So she goes, give me that ticket. She took the
There you
ticket.
go.
Nice.
She took the ticket. I didn't pay it.
So where haven't you done a show that you'd like to do a show? In the continental United
In the
States?
continental
let's say.
United States.
Right, right.
I don't know. Maybe the Super Bowl. How's that?
There you go.
Minnesota.
Yes, and isn't it interesting? You know, I was trading some emails with a friend today who's a longtime season ticket holder. Actually, we share season tickets, and we were saying, "You going to go? Are you going to go?" Blah blah blah, and he has the time and resources and financial wherewithal to go because we all know how expensive a trip it is, unless you're in the media, of course.
Right.
So I said, let me ask you this. Well, let me ask you guys this. What happens if on February 2nd or 3rd, Minneapolis gets the 16 inches of snow that they got last night, and thousands of people,
They got 16 inches of snow last night?
tens of thousands of people, can't get there? Now, the NFL, I mean, obviously they have a plan B and they probably have a plan C, but do they do the right thing and postpone the game to Monday night or Tuesday night?
No way. They play it.
So they say, the heck with the people who have paid thousands and thousands of dollars that can't
They
get
don't do
here.
that. They play the game.
And we're going to have 20,000 empty seats. Let's play.
Wow.
I think you're right. But how would you
Then
like
we ought
to
to
be
go out there and get a seat.
How would you like to be one of those people who buys
$5 grand?
out of those packages at the very low price of $4,800 on the Patriots website? By
Well,
the
it could
way?
be worse. It could be a bum ticket.
Well, yeah. Either way.
Right? Yeah, you've had
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a whole other story. But how would you like to buy one of those packages?
No.
$4,000, $8,000,
Not to
$10,000,
Minnesota.
and you can't get there. Now, it's one thing if you do it, you know,
Right.
and you could want to do it, you can do it.
Right, and you get there. And
But
you can
now
watch
you're sitting at Green Airport Saturday with your $6,000 package. You can't get there, and Goodell holds a news conference and says, "Well, I'm sorry, we have obligations to the network.
Yeah, we got to play the
players
game.
are here. We have to play the game." You're watching the game from Hooters on Airport Road.
No, it's closed.
Oh, sure. You're not going to go there either, then. All right. Bertucci's at the bar.
Right, yeah, there you go. Can you imagine?
Well, I'm saying, I mean, you know, this is Minneapolis. They get snow, right? Like, you know, we get raindrops or clouds here. It could happen. I hope not for everybody
Well, you
that's
said
going.
they actually got 16 inches of
Huge
snow?
storm on Tuesday night, Monday
Wow.
night, Monday night. Huge storm.
Why did they pick a northern city like that?
Because you always get if you build a stadium for the NFL, they will give you a Super Bowl. It's why they did it a few years ago, but they got lucky at the Meadowlands because they built that. You know, it's why Atlanta's getting it next year because they built a new stadium. It's why LA will get one in 3 years.
Right.
And I don't think Gillette will ever get one, even though it's.
No?
I don't think it's just the logistics of it is it's too hard. It's too far from Boston, which is fine. I'm not a big fan of the cold weather city Super Bowl though. Keep it in San Diego. Keep it in Miami, New Orleans.
Yeah.
Well, it goes Atlanta, Miami, Tampa. Yes, Atlanta, Miami, Tampa,
Those are
LA.
the next 3?
The next 4.
Oh, next
So
fall.
plan ahead. I know you're a busy schedule. You want to contact your travel agent. There it is. Atlanta, Miami, Tampa, Los Angeles.
Wow. I'd go to L.A.
That's going to be, I don't know if you guys have seen photos of that stadium they're
Yeah.
building as we speak in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
That is going to be an unbelievable stadium.
What is it, a billion and a
Oh,
half?
it's probably $3 billion. I mean,
Really?
It's
Big
no,
time.
Google it. I mean, it's got to be in, right, Mark? Billions?
It's at least something. Yeah, Stan Kroenke, billions in
Yeah.
the billions.
So what about you've got to plug the Channel 12 coverage. What kind of Super Bowl
what
coverage
are you
can
doing?
viewers?
Who's going? Who's
So
going
we
to
got
be at the Super Bowl?
Yanni, Ruthie Polinsky will go, and they're going to be there all week. Tons of stuff.
Wait a minute, you don't get to go?
I'm not going. I'm anchoring the shows.
Someone's got to mind the
So
story.
gotta
we have
watch
the
the
sports
story.
wrap, so I'm going to anchor that. We'll have pregame shows up the wazoo, especially before the game. We'll have a postgame show after the game, so we're going to have a lot to
See, he's very
lot to
animated.
talk
I like
about.
you. I like your style.
good.
I like
lot
your
to
style.
talk
I
about
do
with the
too.
Super Bowl. We've been doing shows on the Patriots all year, so this is it.
Somebody's got to be back at the studio.
Yeah.
You know, and actually, I mean, I think viewers don't realize. And I don't know if people ask you, and they always used to ask me, and sometimes still ask me, like, what's it like covering those things? And people have no idea. I mean, yes, it's a great job. Don't get me wrong. I would do it all over again, but you go to these games. They're long days.
Oh, my
There's
God.
a lot of stress. The station's paying a lot of money for you to be there.
Right. So
you-
you're not, if
you
you're
need
not
to
having
deliver.
fun, you're not
Let's
just.
just say
There's
this.
no
There-
fun.
There's
no
people.
fun.
There are people in the station that run for the hills when when the Super Bowl happens.
Really?
They don't want to go.
Right.
They don't want to be there. I'm not. That's not Yanni or Ruthie.
Right.
But there's some that have been there and have done it over the years that just
Yeah, they learned their lesson.
it is miserable. It can be miserable. It's
Right.
like you said, long days, tons of deadlines, people in your ear all day long. Like I wouldn't complain. I'm just telling you I've never been to one, but I'm telling you what people have said to me who have been there.
Really?
You're in a good spot on Catamore.
Yeah.
Although it is, it is fun to do. And when we had
Once,
the
at least once,
at
right?
least once.
Sure.
And again, you get paid for it. It's your job. It's exciting. I mean, hey, it's a lot better than all the other sportscasters out
And
there who
I'll
would
just
love
say
to
this
do
real
it.
quick.
Right?
I actually have to get going because we got to be on the air. Yanni Caracas, when Malcolm Butler intercepted that ball, was in the tunnel, waiting to go out onto the field to cover the post game. So he didn't even really see. He might have saw it on a little monitor 25 feet away. So he didn't even really see the end of the game.
Wow.
So that's disappointing,
Right, sure.
So because you got to be there to cover it. So that's kind of how it works with the media. So.
Yeah, it's the media works very hard to present what you see on TV every night and on websites and on your phone and wherever you're seeing your video these days.
Yeah.
People have no idea. They work their butt. The videographers, people you never see on TV. The videographers bust their butts. It's a long day. It's a lot of stress. And even back at the station, you guys, the coverage and you're doing hits every show. And,
Oh yeah, there's producing and
maybe a
lot of
special
stuff.
here and there.
Speaking of Corey Welch, started here.
Corey Welch is
he
a
was
good
here,
man.
He's here 10 years.
Yeah, he's really good. One of our best photographers. Really talented.
Trained by this guy right here.
right.
Learned it all right here.
That's right, he did. All right, I know you got to go.
Got to run.
Mark, so you hang around because we're going to run a clip.
Good luck.
Joe, thanks. Bob, pleasure.
Mark
It's an honor.
Dondaro.
It's an
See,
honor
watch
to
him
be on
tonight.
Bob.
CBS
Hour
12.
with Bob. Unbelievable.
You
Thanks
just,
for having
that's
me.
right. You just spent an hour with Bob. How do you
Thank
like
you.
that?
Almost an hour.
Almost an hour. All right, we'll be right back. We got a clip to show you.
This is the Rhode Island Italian American Hall of Fame's greatest. Salute America's bravest. The greatest are the honorees and inductees who we have honored over the past 30 years. Some of them who have returned to be with us here today live on stage. The bravest are 8 great Italian American veterans who we're here to pay tribute to today. And let me tell you folks, this is a very impressive group.
What a great crowd, huh?
Yes.
So you're Italian American?
Well, they think we're Italians, Allison, so
Yeah.
they drafted us here.
I thought your first and last name was Cranston Warwick.
my
no?
real name is Cranston Warwick. I changed it to Gene Belicenti when I came. So there you go.
So you've got a Bologna up here and a Valicenti.
Colonel Gloria Vignone. James D'Agostino. Former Chief Justice Frank Williams. Al Galado.
I'm glad you made it.
I arrived at 2 in the morning.
2 in the morning.
I wouldn't miss this.
30 years later, 3 deployments, met a lot of great people, and I can't believe it's finally coming to an end.
And all I can say is thank you so much for serving, preserving that part of the world as you did. You may have to go back. I hope not. So, get ready.
Tony DeQuatro. Bob Capone. Nick Manzo and Tom Brescia.
I wanted to ask you, was it more dangerous in the war or city government? What do you remember?
City government.
City government, yeah.
What these guys go through, you know, I mean, you can't put your finger on it. You can't even think about it. And look, I know I got hit in the head really hard by Roberto Duran, but I would not want to do what these guys do. I'd rather get hit in the head.
You know, the ball players, talk about them being role models, athletes being role models, and the courage they have to pitch 7 innings these days. You know, it takes a lot of courage. Yeah. But you guys, both of you who are amazing, and all the veterans out there, just amazing. You're the heroes. You're our heroes. I mean that sincerely.
You might be wondering how a French girl received this scholarship. My maiden name is Gaziano. My grandfather came to America from Sicily when he was 9 years old. Allie's grandfather is extremely proud that she was selected for this award.
We're very proud today as our family to present this scholarship to Matthew Carlone in honor of our recently deceased son, Mick.
It is an honor for Matt to accept this scholarship, and he will live up to your high standards. Trust me, he has a 95-year-old Italian grandmother from Italy, and she has told me failure is not an option.
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the Rhode Island Italian American Hall of Fame, the contributing families, and my own parents and family for enabling me to receive this humbling and incredible scholarship.
It is my special privilege to present Leon Panetta with the Lifetime Achievement Award. Today, we honor, in my view, the greatest public servant of our generation, and we honor his Italian-American heritage.
Ladies and gentlemen, Leon Panetta.
Thanks go to all of you associated with the Rhode Island Italian American Hall of Fame. Most of all, I'm honored because we're Italians here. I speak to a lot of audiences, but I never have had the opportunity to be before an audience that I consider family. Most of you are my family. God bless you. God bless our country. Grazie tanto. Auguri a tutti.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless It's my home. It's our home, sweet home. Thank you so much.
Wow, that was unbelievable.
Well, why don't you tell people what they just saw, because I have no idea. You were there.
The salute to America's bravest. I was there.
It was the Rhode Island Italian American Hall of Fame's greatest, Salute America's Bravest.
Yes.
And the Italian American Hall of Fame is an organization I'm proud to say that I've been involved with.
For how many decades?
30 years.
30,
It was our
3
30th
decades.
anniversary.
That's unbelievable.
Charter member. I'm happy to be president of the organization. We have a great group of guys, and now women, since we've just finally opened the organization to women. We celebrated our 30th anniversary on November 19th, honoring 8 Italian American veterans who you just saw in that clip, who are my new heroes. I don't know about you. I mean, I love the athletes, and you look up to them, and we all have our. But these veterans, and that we gave a Lifetime Achievement Award to Leon Panetta,
Who
former Secretary
I met.
of Defense.
I ended up chatting with before the event.
Yeah, he was asking about you last
was.
week, by the way.
I-
He says
I'm gonna-
hello.
I'm gonna put
You're
in my-
invited
my-
any time to his institute in Monterey. He said, come on
I know
out.
it. He says you belong in an
I
institute.
talked
That's
to him
what he
on
told me.
Sunday, and he's looking forward to seeing you.
Nice guy, really. Really was a
Class
nice guy.
act all the way. No matter what your politics are, he's a class act, always takes the high road. Great speech. When the 400 or so that were in attendance know this. You know this. You were there. We really should put that speech on YouTube, on our website. I think we will.
Why not?
The video you just saw is a recap of the event that is on the website. And our website, by the way, is RIIAHF. So Rhode Island Italian American Hall of Fame. RIIHF.org. .org. So you want to see the video again or share it with someone or find out more about what our organization is. It's all to raise money for scholarships. As you know, you've been coming to our events for many years. We give away scholarships to the best and brightest Rhode Island students going to college of all ethnic backgrounds.
Right.
And we've given away, Bob, close to $250,000 now in
Really?
scholarship awards.
Wow.
And we've honored some
Yeah, let's go
prominent
through
people.
some of the
Well, the list
honorees.
happens
Well,
to be
just hear it,
in the
just-
program over the years, which you can share with your viewers.
Well, I know Rico Petrocelli's right on the top.
Well, yeah, take your pick. There's the list.
Go ahead. Dan Marino, I was there for that. I took pictures of him. Tommy Lasorda, the Dodgers, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Dodgers. And of course, if you don't know, Dan Marino was the Miami Dolphins. And who? Gino Cappelletti.
Yeah, we've honored. It's a long list. It's just
Now,
Gino Cappelletti.
What's Gino? He's a kicker, wasn't he?
He was a great kicker for the Patriots. Should be in the Hall of Fame, and is alive and well. Was going to be with us on November 19th, but could not.
How about Brewski? Wasn't?
Well,
was he
let's
in
go
there?
right to Joe Paterno, Dom DiMaggio, Rick Pitino, Angelo Dundee, Mario Andretti, John Calipari, Gene Sarazen, Gino Oriema, Rico Petrocelli, Phil Esposito, Larry Lucchino, Teddy Bruschi, Terry Francona.
Wow.
All been to Rhode Island.
Yeah.
All at memorable events.
And I photographed them all.
And you were there for all of them. And that's just half the list.
Right.
So we take great pride in being able to recognize and honor prominent Italian Americans from sports and business and the arts, and at the same time raise money for scholarships. And we've done a lot of good things, and we hope to be able to continue to do those things and continue to help kids get an education. We also have a good time along the way, too.
It's pretty amazing that you put together such a production, and there's so many people. There's always 300, 400, 500 people there.
We've had some of these events. These are the honorees, the people we just honored were all at banquets. This is the first theater event we did, the Panetta Veterans event. It was the first theater event.
Because you've done them in Foxwoods.
Venus de Milo, the Biltmore, the Weston, the Omni, Foxwoods, a couple of affairs. But locally, our inductees are all local people. Ralph Zanelli, John Topa, Lou Lamarillo, Vinny Pazienza, Tony Santori, Carl Ritchie, Ernie DiGregorio, Al Del Greco, Mike Tranghisi, Zelio Topazzini. That's not a bad list either.
Now, was he a hockey player?
One of the best, if not the best ever to play for the Rhode Island Reds.
Rhode Island Red,
the
Brown.
great Zelio Topazzini, who would have been an NHL star decades later. Don't forget, when he played for the Reds, there were only 6 NHL teams.
Yep.
He was a phenomenal player. And we honored him on a Friday night at the Biltmore, and he passed away on Sunday.
That same week?
2 days later.
Oh my God!
And he, like a champion, he was up there, and and his family said, you know, they think he lived an extra month because he wanted to live for that night and that event. Shame on us for not honoring him earlier. That was back in 2002 or 3.
I remember that very
It
well.
was an emotional night, remember?
Yes, I do.
And then we've
Yeah,
given
I
out
remember that.
Lifetime Achievement Awards to Arthur Zarella, Armin Sabatoni, General Centracchio, your buddy, Vincent Sarni, Mike Monti, Dr. Paul Calabresi, Joe Paolino Jr., Maria Spacagna, Joyce Ascioli-Reg, Michael Carenti, the late great Judge Vince Regosta, and Al Verrecchia. Not a bad list.
Yeah, they got
Maybe
Italian
someday.
names too.
Yeah, it's amazing how they're all Italian names. Well, it is the Rhode Island Italian American Hall of Fame. And maybe someday there'll be a Lifetime Achievement Award given out to TV host extraordinaire. How many years you been at it now?
26.
Well, you hit 30, and
that'll make it.
Get to 30.
25 doesn't do it.
No, not good enough. Keep going. Keep going. No, it's been great, and we're going to do some new and different and bigger things this year. The event we did in November to honor the veterans and honor Secretary Panetta was to really reinvigorate the organization a little bit.
Right.
I mean, every year the checks have gone out. The mission has never wavered. You know, providing scholarships, 6, 8, 10, 12,000 a year we send out to these kids. And by the way, if you have a son or a daughter of, again, any ethnic background who wants to go to college that might be a high school senior right now, there's information on our website about how to apply for one of those scholarships.
Give the website.
RIIAHF.org. So whether you're interested in becoming a member or a scholarship, or you just want to see some of the videos, and then the Champions for All Seasons video is on that website.
Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Which you've seen. So what did you think about November 19th? You were there with the Lieutenant Governor.
That was impressive, as always. Always you put on a good show.
Well,
anyway.
thank you. It's not just me. We've got some help. I mean, you know.
But you put it all together. You put it all together. The videos you got. He'll put up the videos of each one of the honorees, right?
The veterans, yes.
The veterans, yeah. All the action, all action videos, well, not action videos, but all videos with testimonials and
war footage and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those events don't just happen. We worked very hard for 5 months to make that happen.
Well, first of all, you got to find, you got to do research.
Yeah, again, people have.
Then editing.
Right.
I know how you are, how good of an editor you are.
Well, and you know, have good people who actually physically hit the buttons. But yeah, you got to make that happen. And it came together. It came together fantastically on November 19th, and we're still getting good feedback from it. It was really a memorable event, and the 400 or so who attended. We're thankful that they did attend and support the event. And also, we've had people and families, and I've done it myself on occasion, if name a scholarship after a late grandparent, parent, brother. So if anyone is interested in doing that, they can contact us again through the website, RIIAHF, or they can call you at home and then you take a message and I'll call
All
them.
right. Well, they can look me. No, seriously.
They
Look
can
me
find
up on
you.
Facebook.
You know.
Can find me. I'm the easiest person in Rhode Island to get a hold of.
That's right. You're right here every week.
I'm here all the time, but
among other places.
Among other places, but you know, you can get a hold of me very easily if you want to participate. You want to join in and be part of it if you're Italian, or not even. You don't have to be Italian, right?
No. Well, no. Just join. So the annual dues is only $50 a year.
Right.
Good networking opportunities too, I
Sure.
might add. You know, we have a lot of good synergy and businesses happen over the years between us. I mean, that's not why we do it, but it happens. You know, you're
Well,
around
like
these
you
people.
said, you give scholarships to kids of all.
It's very rewarding. It really is very rewarding. I think that's why I'm more enthusiastic now 30 years later than ever to see these kids and get feedback from kids later in life. And
Right.
we
That's
heard from
that's a cool thing. That's
we
a cool
got
thing.
some great letters. I'll share them with you the next time I see you. Some kids, because we invited a lot of kids back and they couldn't make it, and some parents responded back and said, by the way, you gave our daughter Nikki a scholarship in 1999. Here's what she's doing now.
Wow.
It's very impressive, and it keeps us going. And we're right now we're at the exploratory stages of doing another major event in 2018. I don't know what that's going to be yet. If you have any ideas, let me know. But it will be, again, it will be memorable. And you know, this list of all these people we honored. Someone from Rhode Island Monthly contacted me. I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago. He was doing an article on local Hall of Fames, and he hadn't heard of us, and a lot of people haven't. We stay under the radar. We're not looking for big headlines. We're a small, spirited group, a humble bunch of guys. We do what we do. Nobody gets paid. We don't have any fancy offices. But he said, so who have you honored? And I told him the list that you just
Yeah,
read
he
together.
must have died when he saw
And
that.
well, then he said, so have any of those people made it to your banquets? And I said, yes, all of them. There was about 5 seconds of dead air. Guy couldn't believe it.
I've sat at the table, at the dinner table with Phil Esposito. I've sat with Rico Petroselli. I've sat with what's his name now? The basketball player from
Ernie D.
Ernie D.
Yeah.
Over the years, I've sat with a lot of very famous people.
Yeah, and there's also a lot of famous people out there. You don't have to win an NCAA championship or an AFC championship or a national collegiate title or a world championship in the ring like Vinny did. A lot of people out there that deserve the honor. We want to continue to recognize those people. There's wonderful doctors out there. There's wonderful people in business and people who are doing great things in our community for the arts. So we want to recognize them. And that's another reason to maybe contact. If you know of someone that we don't know of who's done some wonderful things over the years and positive things in our community. This is about good news. There's so much bad news in the news.
Exactly right.
This is about good news. And you were there when we started this event, and I got up there and did my 2 minutes and then threw it to Gene Valicenti and Allison Bologna, who hosted it.
Great co-host.
They did a terrific job, no doubt about it.
They did a fine job.
They were tremendous. But I mean, I said, if you remember that day, I said, this is all about good news. And everything here today is positive, and it's all that's good. You know that saying, what's right about Rhode Island? Well, that needs to be, I think, pushed and pressured even more out there. And that's what our event was about, and that's what our organization is about. So RIIAHF.org. It's all there and more.
All right.
And thank you for all your support over the years and the photographs and talking it up and promoting the organization and having me out here to talk about the organization. We're going to continue to do some good things and have a good time along the way.
Now, lastly, what are you up to now? Newport Comedy Series is...
the Newport Comedy Series is history.
Is all done.
Yes. We
and you had, over the years, you've had the best of the best.
A couple of funny people in Newport over the years. Yes, unfortunately, there's not a venue, there's not a site. I'm still producing promotional videos for companies and commercials for their website, social media, television, et cetera. Having a good time doing that. Behind the camera most of the time.
Right.
Safer there.
Yeah.
As you might find out someday. You're out here on the firing line. Good for you. I'm not as brave as you. And doing events coordinating. I produced an event Saturday night in New York. Major black tie event that they've been doing for 116 years for the
you've
jewelry
done that
industry.
before,
The
haven't you?
24 Karat Club.
Right. Yeah.
Big deal event, invitation only, $700 a ticket.
Wow.
And I produced the entertainment portion. And this year, the other night, we had the lovely, talented Catherine McPhee from Scorpion and Smash and American Idol, and she was fantastic. Talk about a young lady who can sing.
Really?
That young lady can sing. And so that's a
Now,
lot of
how'd
fun.
you line her up?
We'll talk about it at the next show. That's 2 years ago, Aretha Franklin.
I remember you talking about that.
Michael
yeah.
Bolton,
Yep.
Dennis Miller, Terry Fader, Kristen Chenoweth. Good
Terry
lineup of
Fader,
people.
have you heard from him? Terry Fader won the first American
Terry doesn't stay in
Got
touch with
Talent.
me, but he's a good guy.
He's the most
We had him
talented person I've ever met.
We had him in Newport, and
we had dinner with him, remember? We
That's
had
right,
dinner with
after
him
the show. That's right. I think you came with us after the show.
Yep.
And then the 24 Karat Club had him 3 years ago for their big deal event in New York, and he was fantastic once again. So I got more than enough things to keep me in trouble and out of trouble.
And how unlucky am I? I go to Vegas after we sat and talked.
We
after
missed
that,
each other by like 3 days.
He said, "You're coming to Vegas. I'll take care of you. Come see me. You come and see the show." I get there. He's in Florida.
Fader? Oh.
Yeah. The week I was there,
Timing
I went
is
to
everything.
my nephew got married, and I went to the wedding in Vegas, and he wasn't there.
Well, you got to go back to Vegas because he's there 47 weeks a year.
Yeah, I know,
The
but I
Terry,
missed
in the
one of
Terry
them.
Fader Theater.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal
Yes,
guy.
absolutely.
Oh, Joe Rocco, I know you got to go.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Thanks for stopping by. It's always a pleasure.
Here's your souvenir program if
Thank
you
you.
didn't get one on November 19th.
No, there you go. That's why I did get one, but I'll keep this one because this will go in my my scrapbook. This will go in my scrapbook. And I'm not kidding. I ran into Panetta before the event.
Well, I'm
Well, I
sure you
mean,
guys.
not before the
I'm
event.
sure you guys had a lot to talk about.
We discussed a
Right.
few things, and we can't talk
The
about a lot of it. I have to
capture
kill
of
you
Osama bin
because the CIA
You
thing.
feel, do you know if you classified documents? Did
I
he tell
had-
you who killed Kennedy?
Yeah,
I'd like to know.
he got the Hoffa thing right though.
Yeah.
He had the Hoffa thing right. I did a show. I did a video down in Florida. I was in Key West, and then I went over to Cuba several months ago.
Right.
And I was there with a CIA agent, somebody from NASA, a Navy SEAL, and a SAS agent from England, and I couldn't use any of the footage.
Great. And did the American taxpayers
No,
pay for those guys?
no,
Not
no,
you,
no,
but
no,
for
that
those
was a
guys to be
private-
there?
Yeah, that was a
Oh, good.
private
Well, that's
event,
good to know.
Private, private thing.
I'm
yeah.
sure your viewers feel better about that.
Yep,
now.
that was very interesting, very enlightening.
I'm
and-
sure it was.
But it was like going back in time.
Yeah.
To the 50s.
You should
All
go do
the
a show in
cars are
Cuba.
there.
Go
Yeah.
you should do a show in Cuba.
Yep.
That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
I was looking for meet up with Rial.
Yeah.
The brother.
Hey, you've gotten tougher guests. Right?
Well, Joe Rocco spent the whole hour with Bob. Once again.
This is like my 15th appearance, but I've never gotten a whole hour, so thank you so much.
You did today.
This will go down on my resume. I have to go home now and update my resume. Bye, folks. Enjoy the Super Bowl.
That's right. What do you predict? What's your prediction? Give me a score. Score.
Boy, this is the first time anybody's asked me because I know this is going to happen a lot. 28-20.
38-21.
38. Bob says 38-21. Okay.
Patriots, of course.
Yes, of course. All right.
Yeah, I think they're going to spank them.
28-20. Pats. Got it. All right.
All right.
Go Patriots. Go Bob.
Thank you.
See you later.
Joe Rocco. Until next time, folks. See you. We're losing things over here. See? Good night.